Welcome back to the dojo, everybody. This is True Talk with TRUMOTION, where a couple of guys talk about how to make the world a better place and hopefully make your day a little bit better in the process. My name is Mark, followed by my co-host Stephen.
Hey there.
Let's get things kicked off. Well, we've got a special guest in the studio today. Special probably in more than one way, but we love him. He's actually, we were just talking off the air. He is my longest running friend, and I'm more than positive I'm his longest running friend. This is a good friend of mine. His name is Ron. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it is. Ron actually works with my wife at a company, and now that they work together, I never get to see him because my wife has stolen one of my best friends. Anytime we're like, hey, let's hang out with Ron, she's like, seriously, I see him every day.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, I don't see him every day, so what the hell? But Ron, how are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I still don't feel weird. I still feel weird calling you Ron. I always knew him as Ronnie, but we're going to use his
I've been
professional
called
name.
plenty of things. So
Yeah, plenty of things, but it goes by Ron now. So Ron, would you like to tell everybody where you work or what you do for a living?
Yeah, my name's Ron. I'm born and raised in Utah. Went to high school with Mark.
Yep,
known him
we
30
did.
years. Work in the finance industry. Went to college here. Studied math. Kind of a dweeb.
Yeah, big numbers cruncher.
That's about it.
Yeah. So Ron is a vice president of a company that Shanna works for. So they work closely together. They're big numbers nerds, and anytime they start talking, it's like, I don't understand what you're saying. Just be quiet. Talk normal stuff. But Ron and I were talking, and we've kind of officially been like, we first met each other in 1996 at a basketball camp with a former guest, Coach Scott. We had Coach Scott on the show about a year ago? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's where Ron and I met. We met at Coach Scott's camp, and we played baseball together, basketball, been on plenty of road trips. It was good times.
A long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Oh, we were out. You never played golf, did you? You weren't on the golf team, were you? You were 1 year.
Junior year.
Yeah.
It was to get out of school for half a day because golf got out for half a day.
That was the best part about golf. Anytime you had a golf match, you left it like third period. Gone.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Only other
strategic. I was a strategic golf player.
Yeah. Yes. You did just enough to get on the team, and that was about it.
I was still like the third best. It's
true. We had a terrible golf team. I don't even know if we ever won an event. Were you on the team where we went to Moab?
No.
That was my freshman year. Yeah.
Yeah, the farthest we went was
Regions.
Manti.
That was a fun course.
Yeah.
Were you the one that got hit
Palisades.
with the golf ball?
That was me.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were leaving because they did it shotgun style, where everybody started on a different hole. Because normally everybody starts at the first hole, then plays. But they're like, dude, we're running out of time. Everybody scatter, and whatever hole you start, that's your quote-unquote first hole. So we were leaving. We were walking down the side of the fairway to go back to the clubhouse, and all of a sudden, thwap! Did it hit you in the back or hit you in the bag?
Back shoulder.
Yeah, just cracks him right in the back shoulder. And like, oh, sorry about that. Like, yeah, no, don't worry. It only.
Yeah, he went to Mount Pleasant Academy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was a really. If you are a golf fan, that is a great golf course to go to.
That par 3.
They have a par 3 where you hit over
ravine.
a canyon.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's an elevated tee box. So you got to walk like 25 yards up a hill. Everybody gets up there and they're huffing and puffing because they can't breathe. And it's only about 80 yards.
Yeah,
It's not a long hole, obviously par 3, but you have to literally hit over a canyon. If you don't land on the green, it's unplayable.
Oh, wow.
There was virtually no fringe, no rough, nothing.
No, just green, that's it.
They might have had a drop spot like 20 yards off the green, maybe.
Yeah, they did have a drop zone because everybody hit it into the canyon.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was a lot of fun. That's a really cool course.
Palisades, right?
Palisades, yep. So, but yeah, no. So we've been friends for a long time. it's fine. It's great to finally have you on the show.
I don't know what value I will bring, but we will see.
What are some of the highlights of your friendship? What are some of the things, like most notable achievements? I
Well,
guess?
we've both gone through marriages and divorces by each other's side. So
Yeah,
we go.
exactly. We were both in each other's weddings.
Nice.
yeah, and let's see what else. Mark, my son did karate for a couple
he did
years.
karate
with
for a
Mark.
few years,
or not
so-
with Mark, but with TRUMOTION.
Yeah, he studied with Aaron Faber
yeah. So
back when we were United Studios.
yeah, a
and-
little bit of that. And
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. We've done a lot together and been through a lot together. We've seen friendships end. We've seen friendships begin. We've seen the birth of your kids, hanging out with your kids. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's kind of hard to be like, man, what are some highlights? Like
yeah, there's lowlights definitely.
dim lights, but no, it's kind of crazy to look back and be like, damn, like we've been like friends for 30 years now.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to fathom that.
Well, and it was probably we probably saw each other every single day for 4 years straight.
yeah.
And then college came in. I went to California for a bit. You were supposed to
I was
follow
supposed to follow.
suit, but he got shot by Cupid.
Yeah.
with an errant
decided-
arrow that didn't work out very
I
well.
decided to stay in a relationship that was not very healthy, and he was like the one kept yelling at me about it. And of course, when you're young and
I mean, I
stupid.
saw it, but it's okay. You learn
make
from
mistakes.
it.
Yeah.
That's actually one of our questions later on
Uh-oh.
about fun stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, we've gone through a lot of fun times. Man, yeah, like he's not kidding when he says that we were like hanging out together every day for like 4 years.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
and let's not forget, shout out to your mom, Susan. She was my piano teacher in high
Yeah,
school.
my,
nice.
my mom taught Ron piano. Even taught
She
his
taught
daughter
my
for a
daughter
while.
for a little bit too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. She still has that painting you did in art class from high school.
Ooh.
It's like in the room. I see it all the time too. I'm like, oh, stupid painting. But no,
I
it's pretty
say-
good. It was a replica of a Kandinsky, right?
Picasso.
A Picasso.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say a replica. I'd say a forgery.
A forgery. It's a photocopy of one, but yeah, no, it's kind of crazy to think about all the stuff you've gone through. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, what have we? And then all of a sudden you start talking. You're like, God, we've been and seen a lot of stuff. We were hanging out together when it turned into 2000.
Oh,
The
you survived
Y2K, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
At the first night, he got us kicked out of Temple Square. It was all good.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
So yeah, I remember everybody was like looking at their pagers at the time, seeing if
I had a cell phone. That was cool. I was a senior. That was cool.
yeah, I
had a cell phone.
I did not have a cell phone. Seeing if the world was going to crash with Y2K and all that stuff, and
It's very disappointing, though, wasn't it? That
Yeah, nothing
January
happened.
1st, everything was cool.
nothing happened. Yeah, it's just like
Thought high school would disappear. My grades would disappear.
yeah, like all the stuff that was going on was going to stop. No, just carried on like normal. But we're really glad to have you on the show. I've been wanting to get you on for a while. But yeah, no, I appreciate you taking the time on. It's actually, we're recording on a Monday today. Normally we record on Fridays, but with it
Bank
being-
holiday.
yeah. Since Ron works in the finance industry, he has these ridiculous days off called bank holidays. It's stupid. Tell Shanna, Maya and Shanna work in the finance industry also, so they have the day off. I go, you guys are lame. Get like every federal holiday
Sounds
off.
kind of smart, actually.
No, whatever. So, but no, let's. Maybe you know the answer to this question, Ron. This was last week's Liam's Facts, so let's move on to our Liam's Facts. Last week's Liam's Facts question was: the idea of zombies can be traced back to what religion? Do you know the answer to that one?
Would it be Shinto? Like
Ooh, close.
reincarnation?
It's voodoo.
Voodoo. Oh, okay.
The
that makes
answer is voodoo.
sense. I was thinking reincarnation, you know.
Yeah, isn't that Hindu?
And Shinto, I think, the
Okay.
Japanese religion.
Yeah, but no, apparently because that I didn't know that either. I obviously had to look it up, but yeah, apparently zombies are traced back to the religion of voodoo.
Is voodoo a religion, or would it be Satanism, or would it be
They
something else?
consider voodoo a religion, even though it does deal in unorthodox type practices. But
I mean, sounds kind of fun.
yeah, go down to New Orleans, see what it's all about.
Shooting zombies. I was thinking that.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that zombie apocalypse to happen. But this week's question is, and we talked about this off the air because Ron's a big presidential history buff. It is, who was the first televised president? Who was the first televised president? If you know the answer, leave it in the comments down below or email us at trutalktuesdays@gmail.com.
That's right.
And let us know if you know the answer. But if you don't, tune in next week and you'll find out the answer. But moving on to a word from our sponsors.
Ninjas in the house.
You check it, Dojo Vibes, got something to share. TRUMOTION merch shop, got that ninja flair. Shirts and hoodies, slick like Bruce Lee. Karate thread sharp like a kick to the knee. Custom names and colors like a lightsaber's glow. You're the Jedi, watch how your style gon' flow. Scan that code, jump in, it's time to score. With gear so fresh, you'll be wanting more. TRUMOTION merch where the fit's on point. Dressing up clean like $1 billion joint. TRUMOTION, safe stacks like Bruce. Get your swag right, man, no excuse. From the mat to the street, stepping like Jan. Gear so fly like your own stunt man. Personalize it like your own Stark Tech. Karate gear tight like a chop to the neck. You name your colors like a comic book villain. Step in the light while you're laid back chillin'. Scan the code, it's your time to rise. With your motion gear, you'll take the prize. Your motion merch where the fit's on point. Dressing up clean like $1 billion joint. TRUMOTION, 10 safe stacks like Bruce. Get your swag right, man, no excuse. Yeah, TRUMOTION's the wave, call it the new rave. Get your gear, step up, no time to behave. Scan that code, the deal's too sweet. Karate swag's here, time to bring the heat.
Thank you, sponsor. And now moving on to our top 5 list. All right, this week's top 5 is top 5 snacks. With being in playoff time, I chose not to do game day snacks because I'll wait for closer to the Super Bowl. But top 5 snacks. What you got, Steven?
Wow, for top 5 snacks, you got so many of them.
I know. It's hard
How
to-
much preparation goes into these snacks?
Like, kind of like grab and go.
Grab and go?
No, because
that's what
I
was
think if you
planning.
like make them, then that's more of like an appetizer, not a snack.
Right.
That's what I think
Okay,
of at
okay.
least.
Glad you clarified the rules there.
Yeah.
Definitely, I've got chips. I've got potato chips.
Okay.
Got your tortilla chips with like
Okay.
guac.
Chips and salsa or guac. Okay.
You've got your trail mix.
Oh,
Your Chex mix.
Okay. That's
I like salty and savory. I
okay.
guess.
There you go.
I really just like it. It goes back to the top 5 chips episode because that's really
Just
all I snack on.
variations of chips.
Pretzels sometimes, but
Okay,
I'm not
pretzels.
rich, so
All right. Ron, what do you got?
Does chips count as one? Or
You
because I
could-
like Cheetos.
You
Yeah,
you
you
could classify different types of chips. I almost put Cheetos too, but I just put chips.
Popcorners, kettle
Popcorn.
corn flavor.
Popcorners are good.
That's good.
Those are way good.
Sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds. Okay.
Spits preferably.
Spits, sunflower
Although
seeds.
Biggs is getting up there too.
What is?
Biggs.
I haven't heard of Biggs.
They have like a taco supreme flavor. Like
Really?
from Taco Bell. They have
Interesting.
weird different ones. And
Yeah,
they're
you're a
bigger-
real big
they're bigger seeds.
Yeah, you're a big seed guy in high school with baseball.
And let's see. You got to go high chews, man.
High chews? Okay. Yeah.
And this is going to come out of left field for people that know me, but chocolate covered cinnamon bears.
Chocolate covered cinnamon bears.
That's right.
interesting.
Milk chocolate, not that dark crap.
Yeah, not the healthy chocolate.
Yeah. No.
Like the chocolate that's just terrible for you.
Yeah, correct.
There you go. That's right. Because if you're going to have a snack,
Is that 5?
you don't want it to be healthy. I think so.
Hence, that's why it's called a snack.
Yeah, exactly. So I got chips and salsa, taquitos.
Ooh.
Those are just real quick, like, well, I technically you kind of prepare them, but you just
Yeah.
really stick them in the microwave. But
Oh,
then I
some
got
microwaves are okay.
then I got
guess.
popcorn because that you stick in the microwave
Stick in the
too.
microwave. Or you buy it pre-popped.
Yeah.
With extra real butter, though.
Yes. Not fake stuff. I like sweet things, so I like cookies and like those stupid like little Debbie snacks. Oh, I remember like God. I think you were with us, dude. We'd eat terrible in high school, like any other
You're
stupid
supposed to.
high school kid.
Metabolism.
Oh yeah. We would buy all sorts of like Hostess and Little Debbie's treats and then just like gorge yourself and then go play a basketball game and be completely fine. Now you eat like one extra chip and you're like, oh God, I can't move for 2 days. It's stupid. I hate it.
What about when we would do all-night video games and we would eat, like, was it the 10 and 10 from Taco Bell?
Yep.
Ooh.
The 10 hard
Okay, so
shell
this is
tacos,
this will
10
tell you the
burritos.
times.
Okay.
We would rummage our car for change, and we would find enough change in our car to feed us all night from Taco Bell.
Nice.
Yeah,
With Mountain Dew.
with Mountain Dew, and we would play that
Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon and that Pod Racer game on 64.
Oh,
The Star Wars
Star
game.
Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, there's very, very numerous all-night video
Nice.
game sessions with just all sorts of stuff. And then when we became older, young adults, then it turned into the online gaming stuff.
Okay.
And we would always play this Ghost Recon, Tom Clancy Ghost Recon game, and we'd always get just hammered because it was so stupid hard. Like, and everybody was like, had their assignments, and we would like position ourselves into a certain area, and we'd never win. We'd always get killed. It was terrible. It was like on the hardest difficulty level, but it was on the easy, and we still felt like we were getting destroyed. So, if you ever want a really hard game, play Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Yeah, that was
From 1999.
1999. Yep. All right. Well, let us know what your favorite snacks are, and if they line up or don't line up. But either way, let us know what you guys think of what your favorite snacks would be. But moving on to our Ask a Sensei. This week's Ask Sensei is kind of brought to you by Shannon and Maya. They kind of helped me write these out yesterday. So
wow.
kind of see how this goes. All right. So this goes into both the professional realm and teaching realm. So everybody can chime in on this one. It's how do you inspire your students / employees? Because you have people that, you know, you work with, and obviously you're in charge of a lot of different hats being in the position that you are. What is your like go-to way of like motivating or inspiring people to want to work hard or effective or efficient, but just get the best out of them? So what's your kind of go-to way to be like, damn, okay, this person's like kind of suffering. How can I get them to want to aspire to be better?
Unfortunately, good or bad, incentivizing people with
Yeah.
things that are like not that meaningful to say me or older generations, but
Okay.
like leaving early on a Friday, wearing a hoodie on a Friday, wearing a hat on a Friday, like little things like
So
that.
dress attire works really well for people that work at your company.
I wouldn't
Some.
narrow it to
Some.
my company. It's a generational thing, I
Really?
think. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the millennials and the whatever's coming
Gen
up
Z.
after them.
It's Gen Z, right? Or is it Gen Alpha?
Gen Z is
Gen
after
Z, okay.
millennials.
And you know, it's challenging because also they think 8 to 5 means 8 to 5.
Yeah.
When your
It's-
salary means, in my world, what I was raised to believe, and certain mentors in my life, is you work your rear end off until the job's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Not necessarily, time to clock out, especially when you're not a clock in, clock out kind of person.
I agree. I don't know where the transformation happened with that, but I do see a lot of people put in like the bare minimum, but expect the maximum.
They expect... It's the opposite of the Kevin Costner effect, is what I've heard is like, if you build it, it will come to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's traditional way. A lot of younger people think that they got to get it up front and then they'll work towards it. And so they're gonna get the same reward, and you're gonna get half of the productivity out of them. So
it's interesting because Michael Jordan actually talked about this on a talk show, and I think it was probably about 10, 15 years ago, but it's very, very relevant. He was talking about when he was coming up through the league, and like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, all those guys, they had to work really hard to get their sponsorship money. Nowadays, companies are just throwing sponsorship money at these newer athletes, and like their first contracts are like more than most of the former players ever made. He goes, now we're giving all the benefits up front. We're preloading them based off of their quote unquote potential, not off of what
future value, not
future
present
value, not present value. And I agree with Michael Jordan in this aspect. When you do that, that doesn't incentivize people to want to continue to work hard because they already have it.
Yeah.
But if you have to work to obtain it, you value it a lot more. You become more valuable as an employee or an athlete. But I agree. This whole it's 5 o'clock, time to go home. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I hate to say it's like a quote unquote old school type thinking, because I really don't consider us very old school. But we are in a lot of aspects.
My knees would argue otherwise.
Yeah, the cold. It's actually pretty cold here in the studio today, and like all the joints are aching and this and that. But like, I don't understand where this switch has come from with that whole working mentality of like, I personally would blame social media
100%,
because you see everybody with the end result, but you don't see the work that it took to get to that end result.
Well, and the people on social media, what did they really do to get that end result?
Yeah.
They had a pretty face and a perfect body, and
yeah, like what value or
all
talent are they really providing?
Yeah, it's not the real world. Mm-hmm. And I'm fearful of. I wish social media would go away.
I agree with you. There's been a lot of great things about social media, but it's been warped into something that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was intended. It wasn't intended. I can't really answer that. But it's good to see things from like you and your kids. It's like, I don't get to see you very often. It's like when you post stuff, it's like, oh man, that's awesome. Like it,
and
I like to see.
Don't post anything on purpose.
No, you don't. And you need to do more so I know what's going on, sir.
Just call me.
This is true. I can't.
It's this weird thing called a phone.
He wants to hear your voice.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm glad you missed me.
I
appreciate
take that how you want it. I hate texting. I just pick up the damn phone and call.
I agree. I never understood the whole texting thing until, honestly, Shanna's turned me into a texter. But I'll pick up the phone and call you more. But I agree. This whole front-loaded end result type thing, I don't agree with, and people need to start earning their keep.
Yeah, unfortunately, that ship has sailed. So you have to adapt to what people will do now, which makes it more challenging being a manager or a boss or.
I was going to say, so
whatever.
how do you adapt, or how do you find out what their hot buttons are? To like, what motivates them? Do you just pay attention to what the trends are, or do you talk to them, or?
My honest opinion?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Okay.
I am still trying to figure that out. That's
and I
the
think
key.
that's probably an ever-evolving type thing. Yep. Like, what works now may not work in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to, teach by example. via what I call osmosis, like people hearing me on the phone with clients or challenging situations, and hopefully they're absorbing
or just
what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, they see by action, be like, hey, look, I am working hard.
But
you need to work as hard as me. But that doesn't really translate.
I mean, I haven't figured it out. I mean,
because I know Shanna has talked to me about how she's like, sometimes it's hard for her to find out what motivates these people.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's the the Stephen Coveys of the world are gone, so we don't know. We got to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with exactly what you were just saying. A lot of people have lost that direct communication with people. They'd rather instant message you on Teamster. Is it Teams? Whatever.
There's
you're like
various Teams. Google Meets.
Google Meets. Like, they'd rather message you than actually walk over and talk to you.
Correct. Yep.
And I think that's very sad. I don't know when that changed, but it definitely has changed. People would rather communicate through technology with you than actually stand in front of you and have a conversation.
Yeah, I don't know when the switch happened either, but my biggest piece of advice for any young kid out there is learn how to talk to people face to face, look them in the eye.
Yes.
When I interview people for jobs, if they can't look me in the eye, it's an automatic no.
I completely agree.
I don't waste my time.
That and young men, learn how to shake someone's hand.
Firmly.
Yes. I will pass complete judgment on somebody based off of how they shake my hand. I don't care. I've told Maya that. I go, before she was dating Elliot, I go, hey, I'm just letting you know I will judge him based off of how he shakes my hand. So if you want him to be around, you better tell him to shake my hand, like, correctly.
And not a bro
like dab
slap and a bro hug.
Yeah, no. It's like shake my hand.
Yeah, I mean, you're the father figure, so
look me in the eyes and say, hello, it's nice to meet you. I'll be like, okay.
I will say, don't call me sir, though. You don't need to do that.
Yeah,
sir makes me feel way too old.
I get a lot of sirs. It makes me. I feel weird with that as well. But I agree. I don't know where the shift has been, but we have the opportunity with this new generation, like your kids, and like the students here, to really help them be like, hey, you will be head and shoulders above everybody else if you know how to talk to people, and not be afraid to talk to people.
You know, I think when the switch happened was when the first iPhone came out.
I would probably agree with you.
That's when
texting became a thing.
That's when, well, I mean, yeah, texting was kind of a thing, but like,
it was way harder.
Pictures and all of that stuff, and having social media at your fingertips and the internet in your pocket 24/7. Like, is there good things about that? Yes, but real time news, real time social engineering is not good.
No.
So it made a lot of people a lot of money, and it's gonna fry a lot of people's minds at the same time.
Think about it, like when we were growing up, like how many phone numbers could you remember?
The important ones, for sure. Mom, dad.
Like you knew
girlfriend A, girlfriend B, girlfriend C.
Exactly. And you knew their address too.
And it was their home phone.
Yeah, their home phone.
And oh my gosh, I have to talk to their father or mother to talk to her.
Be like, hey, is so-and-so there?
Who's this?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, no, it's not me. It's somebody else.
It's their best friend's sister. Yeah. No, exactly. And that would probably be, I think you're right in that aspect. I think that's probably when things started to really change. And as you alluded to as well, a lot of good things have happened from like this instant access to everything. But then also a lot of bad things have happened from it too. You know, we've gotten lazy as a society. Like, and I still fall into this category too. It's like we're impatient. We talked about it on the last episode. It's like, dude, Amazon, you buy something, and if it's not at your door the next day, you're like, what the hell?
I mean, now you can have same day sometimes too.
Yeah, exactly. Like my mom bought something that morning, and it was at her house by 2. And she goes, that's weird, right? And I was like, well, not anymore.
Makes people not have to leave their house.
Yeah.
It makes people not have to talk to people. Makes people, and these self-checkouts.
Yeah, self-checkouts. It isolates people, and I don't necessarily agree with it.
It's, the immediate news and constantly refresh is creating this world of stress and anxiety and
Yes, and things that you start worrying about that have nothing to do with your daily life.
and is not within your control.
Exactly. You're being forced to think about things that you have no skin in the game, or you have no way of determining the outcome. And it's like that causes far more anxiety and stress than it needs to be.
Yep.
And then you can start to see it's interesting because we had a dragon test over the weekend, and we were telling the kids, we did a cold plunge, or telling the students, like, hey, if you want to do the cold plunge, you've got to be dressed and in your attire for the water within 2 minutes. And kids were stressing out about that. And it's like,
I would stress out about a cold plunge, but
that is fully understandable, because that's,
I'm freezing right now, sitting in a sweatshirt and jeans.
we had kids full submerge. I'll show you the videos after. Full submerge in the water and stay in it for 15 seconds.
Where'd you go?
We headquarters, and we just filled up a horse trough full of water and left it outside for 3 days.
Oh,
Like layer of ice on the top. We had to break it down, pull the ice out. And some people, it was hard. It was really hard for them. Like it induced like almost a borderline panic attack.
which is interesting because cold plunges are supposed to be.
They're good for you.
Yeah, they're what are
Supposed
they?
to reduce stress.
Yeah, it's supposed to reduce stress.
Oh no, it induced stress in some kids and some people. And then others, they got in and they're like, oh, you could tell it was cold and it was uncomfortable, but they remained calm. Some people, they got in and it was boom, exact opposite.
Huh. Yeah,
It's like pouring
what,
gasoline on a fire.
serotonin inducing or something.
Oh yeah, one of them. I didn't do the video. Martine did.
Did you do the plunge though?
No, not yet. We probably
Okay,
will.
so remember, folks, lead by example.
No, well, because we were running the test, but we have done the cold plunge in the past.
Excuses.
We had one little kid, and his dad dunked in it with him. I mean, speaking of doing it by example, his dad didn't go full, but like he just dunked his face.
Yeah.
But he went in and he like palmed his head into the water, and the kid got up and his face was just big eyes. His mouth was gaping, and you're just like, it's okay, buddy. And he was about ready to just run. But so how to inspire students? What is your kind of go-to for inspiring students?
Well, a lot of it is figuring out what they want, and it's pretty easy here.
Yeah.
Because
Everybody
they want
wants
the next rank.
Everybody wants the next rank.
They want the next rank.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well then let's see if your actions and what you do align with what you want. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, well, that's where you employ corrective measures or teach them to be like, oh, well, we don't want to do that. That doesn't help us go anywhere. Mm-hmm. We want to go here.
Yeah. And I think a big thing here as well is like the visual representations, like the belts on the wall, seeing other students with higher ranks, black gis, like things that they're like, no, you get this through this type of work and action. I think it'd be really difficult for like corporate professionals to find out what motivates people. Because are you even allowed to talk to them like that? Like there's so many weird rules on like questions you can't ask people.
Yeah, there are. I mean, I could ask where
Yeah.
There's
like,
a lot of there. Yeah,
Like,
but at the
what,
end of the
what
day,
motivates you? What would want you to want to work harder?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we can be as direct as we need to be. I mean, obviously in a professional, respectful manner.
Yeah. No, not being an ass or anything.
I mean, sometimes you have to be.
No, I agree.
I'm pretty good at it. A lot of people would say.
From what I've heard, everybody's like, Ron's so mean. I was like, no, he's not. He's just being Ron.
It's sometimes you just have to be blunt with them. Like, you screwed up.
Yeah.
Fix it. Don't do it again.
And I'm fully like, I feel like there needs to be more of that, but people fall apart when you tell them they did something wrong. I don't understand that mentality either.
Well,
you know,
putting myself in their shoes, like, I don't understand that people think that their work product is top tier, right?
yeah.
I always say I'm my own biggest critic. If somebody
Yeah.
tells me I screwed up or whatever, I'm gonna overthink the crap out of the situation, and probably to my detriment to a certain extent. But I don't want to ever do it again. I don't want to make
Exactly.
somebody else look bad. I don't just shrug it off, laugh it off, and then move on with my day. I have a constant concern about screwing something up, losing money.
Well,
And-
that's a very real thing.
It's too real.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
Plus, you remember all your times you mess up. Like, if you're smart, you remember, like, oh, I screwed up there. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
do that again.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and-
Especially when you get reprimanded on it.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with someone saying like, "Hey, you messed up. This is how we need to fix it," and then being like, "You're right. Okay, let's fix it." Like that's the mentality that needs to be taken instead of like, "Oh, they hate me," or "Oh, I'm the worst person in the world." No, everybody makes mistakes.
Yep.
Everybody screws up. The problem is doing the same mistake and making the same screw ups. But if I've got someone that makes a different mistake every day, eventually we're going to run out of stuff to make mistakes on.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's fine. That's fine. Nobody's perfect. You can't be. And trying to be is just going to drive yourself crazy because it doesn't matter how good it is. There's always things to improve on. And that's fine. Okay. But yeah, I just think it's interesting what motivates people nowadays. And like the clothes thing, I would have never have thought that.
Yeah, it's interesting, but
Like,
you know,
oh man, if I work really hard, I can wear my hat on Friday. Yeah, buddy. Sweet. And they work harder, really,
right.
just to wear a hat? Okay. Hey, but whatever. Like, if that's what truly motivates them, like, I'm down for it. Like,
Yep.
it does. What motivates people is always different. Like, when we were growing up, we were motivated by making money. It's like, you got to make money. Like, okay, well, not everybody's motivated by money, and that's fine. That's fine. Whatever it is that motivates you, understand that that's what it is. If it's as simple as like being able to wear jeans on Friday, like, okay, if being able to wear jeans on Friday makes you guys work really hard during the week, let's wear jeans on every Friday. Like, I don't care. Like,
And
some
that's
people
that's
want bonuses, and it's
that's
like,
an
okay.
that's an easy, free
Exactly.
incentive.
And it's cheap. It's like, if I was a company and what motivated them was what they got to wear, I'll be like, all right, you hit these numbers, you can wear whatever you want after that. To a point. Like, obviously, nothing illegal. Yeah.
An example here is like you get the kid done with all their stuff. What they want the most is to be chased by a tennis ball and a string.
Yeah.
It's like they love it.
It's called Snake, and we have a tennis ball on a rope, and you swing it around, and the kids run away from it. And if it hits them, they're out.
It's like
That motivates the hell out of them.
they'll work on their form.
They'll run
quiet,
through a
they'll
wall to
everything.
do the snake drill.
Huh.
And you're like,
Yeah,
really?
that probably wouldn't work in my
No, probably
situation.
not. You're like, hey guys, if you work really hard, I'm going to swing this rope with a ball around, and if it hits you, you
guys
gotta,
can run away for
you got to
30
stay here
seconds.
longer. But if you escape for 30 seconds, you can go home. But ours doesn't have spikes on it or anything. So, but all right, moving on to our next question. This is actually a pretty good one. This one I had to be like, that's pretty good. How do you stay motivated when things aren't really going your way? So what keeps you motivated when it's like, it seems like nothing is going right? Because we've all had times where it's like, damn, it doesn't matter what I do. It seems like it's never good enough. Especially in like coming from a male's perspective. you're always thinking about like your work, your family, your kids, like all of these things, and sometimes it honestly just feels that we just don't measure up, even though everybody's doing a damn good job, you know? So for me, what motivates me when things are going wrong or doesn't really go right is I have to think about the people that I'm going to bat for. Okay, so if things are crappy here teaching wise, I got to remember the kids that are here for me to teach. Okay, because I don't know if you know, or if Shanna's told you, but we lost a student over break, and he was a great young man. So now anytime I'm feeling like, oh God, man, I just don't feel like I'm measuring up, I'm going to think about Liam and the fact that we meant the world to him. And I'm going to always remember that and be like, okay, it's all right. You're doing great. Keep pushing through. Just like put your head down, push through it. You'll be fine. Outside of here, it's my family. Like what motivates me when things are hard is my family and the people that are close to me. So it's like, damn, dude, nothing's going right. That doesn't matter. I get to go home. I get to see my family. I got somebody to latch on to. That for me, that's what keeps me motivated when it just feels like the walls are closing in. It's like, and the fact that I know that it's not going to last. Whatever I'm going through, it's not going to stay. Okay. It could be the worst. Like, truthfully, the thing with Liam was the worst day of my life. Let me rephrase. It wasn't the worst day of my life, but it was probably top 2. Okay. Like, terrible. Got a phone call. I wasn't right for 3 days. Okay. But even that, we're starting to heal. We're starting to move forward. Kids are smiling more in class. Then kids will say something and it'll send you right back down the drain. And you're just like, oh, damn. Like, I thought I was getting better. But unintentionally, that's what happens. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So what kind of keeps you motivated when you feel like things are just not where they need to be?
My family, but more importantly, I think my dogs.
Your dogs? Yeah. No, my dogs too, man.
You know, they're unconditional love, and it doesn't matter. Like, you could be yelled at all day, but the dog's happy to see you, and the dog's like, my dog Rose. She's getting in touch with understanding or sensing what people around her are feeling.
Okay.
And it's like, my back was hurting yesterday, and I laid down on the floor, and she came over and she like laid down right beside me.
Yeah.
And that, you know, maybe she's just being dumb, but that didn't happen before.
Made you feel good, though.
It made me feel like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And she's just sitting there.
It's funny you say, you know, you could be yelled at all day, but your dogs, sometimes my dogs yell at me.
Yeah.
They usually yell at me at 7 in the morning and like 5 in the afternoon when it's time to eat.
She was kind of mischievous yesterday as well. So to the basement where I live, there's a door, like an iron gate. So there's a railing. And so we close the gate so the dogs are stuck in the basement.
Yeah.
They hate that, especially when there's people upstairs. They'll sit there, put their snouts through the iron
gate,
bars
yeah.
and just like whine.
Yeah, they're in prison.
They're like, let me out.
Yeah.
Let me out.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one. Ron, what about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, 2 kids. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Simple.
Nice.
I was going to say your kids are, I know because I know you really well, that your kids are your driving force for everything you do.
Yeah, and it's challenging these days because I get them half the time.
Yeah.
So those days I don't have them, like right now, today's the day I send them back to their mom.
Oh.
After having them for 5 days, and initially it's kind of like okay, I survived. I kept them alive, and then immediately it's like,
Now they're gone.
now what do I do?
Yeah.
So kind of thing. So
when you have days where you send them back to their mom for the first day, do you sense that, like, you already know, but like, okay, today's going to be a little tough. Like, and do you have things that you specifically do on those days to kind of help ease the transition, or are you just like, I just got to get to work?
Luckily, every transition day is a work day. So I'm a bit of a workaholic to a certain extent, so I can kind of bury myself in my work.
Well, you can forget the other stuff because you're concentrating on work.
Yeah, I definitely don't forget it, but I can kind of set it aside.
It eases the blow.
Distracts me, probably, is a good way to put it.
That's a good word, distracts.
And then motivating myself to, I mean, I work my ass off to make sure that I can provide them a good life. If I didn't, it'd be interesting to see where I'm at if I never had kids, never got married, or never got divorced, or any of that.
Yeah,
stuff,
it's kind of interesting to see like where the scope of where you would be at professionally or emotionally and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I could be further ahead in my career. I could be just right where I'm at, just in a different spot. You know, I don't know. I could be well behind. You know, I mean, but
it's very interesting when you talk about kids, because a lot of, like, speaking of newer generation, this new generation doesn't really want to have kids, and it's crazy to think that because they're so worried about other things that they have no control over. Like, oh, kids are really expensive. Well, every generation has been saying kids are expensive.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that shouldn't have kids, so I'm not necessarily losing sleep over it.
Yeah, there is that too.
There's people that don't know how to take care of the kids they got, or
no, I agree.
You know,
but it's crazy how much you personally change when you have another kid, and it's hard to explain for people that don't have kids, because up until then, it's you've either had to worry about you or maybe like an adult that's with you.
Yeah.
But now you've got somebody that their entire well-being is purely predicated on you.
Even when they're 15.
Yes. Even when they're 21. Like my kid. So it's hard to put that into words, especially if they've never had to do something like that. But yeah, your kids are a huge motivating factor for you to continue to push through whatever it is that you're going through.
Yeah, not to discount other aspects of my family or whatever, but you know, if I fail, my kids are gonna be the ones suffering. My mom, my dad won't be suffering necessarily. I mean,
no.
If anything, I'm paying the stress and concern that they have for me forward to my kids. So,
yeah, you're paying it forward.
So, I mean, that's why I want to specify why it's my kids and my kids alone, because the rest of my family can, my success or failure doesn't have a direct impact on whether they can,
their daily life. Yeah.
They can have a hot meal or have a roof over their head. It's just, if anything, they're my backstop to make sure I don't lose my mind and spiral.
No, so your two kids, if they ever listen to the show, which you probably should, I think it's fun because they get to hear Dad talk about certain things.
Yeah, maybe not.
I go, you guys are great. You have great kids, by the way.
Thanks.
They're really something special. The boy's getting into hockey, from what I've heard.
He started playing high school club hockey, which he's never played hockey in his life, but that's been a huge. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you what change that's brought in a positive way. I mean,
because he was very quiet and very to himself.
He used to hate school. He, you know, I don't know, it's just opened up his eyes to the real world a little bit. You know, him moving from junior high to high school at the same time. The kid he surprises me in a positive way every day, and a lot of it I think is partially going through a divorce situation over the last 12 months, but also this hockey thing is just, he's got new friends, he's met new people, learning a new skill,
he's getting that
obsession.
Physicality.
Yep.
Like, especially with being a teenage boy, he needs that physical outlet.
For sure.
Of just exertion and actually like the pure physicalness of hockey.
Yeah.
People running into him running into other people.
Yeah.
Like, boys need that.
Well, and it's interesting because, like, watching him play his first game, playing one shift because he was scared to death to get into the game, to the next game playing 3 shifts, to then playing every single shift since.
Yeah.
So he's a deer in the headlights still a little bit out there, but every game, every practice, he gets better and better and better and better.
And that's all you can ask of yourself.
And it's the best thing probably that he has had come his way that he's wanted to do. I mean, he said he regrets not doing it earlier. You know, we tried to kind of intro him to hockey when he was young, but I'm not going to force feed anybody.
No.
But
and we always tell people, and I'll reference it to this. It's like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So it's the same thing with him in hockey. When he was ready for hockey, he did it.
Yep.
Like, if you try, and everybody always says, I wish I would have done this earlier. And my response is, no, because you wouldn't have lasted or you wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
It's like you were ready when you were ready.
Yeah. I mean,
We wish we were ready earlier. That's fair enough.
yeah. My kid is, my son. He's very high strung, high stressed, high anxiety, just like me. And you know, the second practice in, he froze, wouldn't come out of the locker room. So I thought, okay, this is the next thing that he started and couldn't continue. But one of the coaches came in, talked to him, said, just come out and try to have some fun. And so then the next time it was a game, and then it was like he goes out for one shift, and literally it's like, I hate the analogy, but it's like heroin, right? It's like, it's a drug to a certain extent. It creates some type of endorphin in his mind that now he'll just keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
Well, then he also realized that there's really nothing to be scared about.
No, he was worried. I'm the slowest skater. I'm like, buddy,
matter.
you're the greenest player out there. So
nobody
there's
cares.
always going to be a slowest.
Yeah.
There's always going to be the fastest, but there's always going to be the slowest on the team.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't mean that you don't add value to the team.
yeah, and so
everybody plays their part.
I don't know, like 5-6 games into it, he scored a goal. Which
Really?
I haven't seen him smile that much in a long time.
That's fantastic.
Yes, and I cried twice.
That's okay. I would have probably cried too, man. It's a pretty emotional thing coming from a kid who wouldn't come out of the locker room.
Yep.
Now to someone that's scoring goals.
Yep.
That's huge.
Big time.
That is huge.
The coaches, like, he got MVP of the game too.
Really?
And not even because of the goal, but he's where he's supposed to be. He may not be able to handle the puck well or skate very well, but he's in the right place at the right time at least, and he's listening to the coaches, and they reiterated that, and that's when I lost it again.
Well, here's the truth. Like, some of the most physically gifted people are some of the worst peoples to coach because they think they can do everything based off of their pure athleticism. But yet, people that can take coaching and are coachable become valuable adults because they can take direction. They can follow direction. That goes back to like the previous question. It's like if you're uncoachable in like little recreational sports, dude, there's no way you can take directions from your boss. Or there's no way you can take directions from a teacher. Or possibly even your own parents. So being coachable, in my opinion, is one of the more valuable skills you can be because you can always work on your physical aspects, but working on those mental aspects are very difficult. Very difficult. But
I mean, you said you had Coach Scott on, what, a year ago?
Yeah. I mean, yes. Yes.
That's right. 5 push-ups there.
Yeah. Yes.
Diaz.
We don't-
JR is
Yeah. He always
drove
call
me
me
nuts
JR.
calling him that.
He never called me JR. That's why I feel it hard calling him Ron. 'Cause I don't call him
yeah.
Ron. Anytime Shanna talks about him, she's like, yeah, Ron did this today. I was like, who's Ron? Oh, Ronnie.
But I was probably the least physically gifted.
You were the
basketball.
hardest worker, though.
Well, yeah, because, well, the fear of God was put in me by Coach Scott.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I wish.
The thing that you had going for you is, like you said, you may not have been the most physically gifted, but nobody would outwork you and nobody would out-hustle you. And that's something that you can't coach.
Career. Well, yeah, I mean, I mean, it was kind of extracted out of me to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But like even to this day, like people will ask me, well, where'd you get your work ethic? Yada, yada, yada. And it's like, well, first and foremost, my mom and dad. But of all other people, it was my high school basketball coach.
It was Coach Scott.
They're like, really? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
He whooped my ass for 4 straight years.
Yep.
But it was because he gave a shit and he loved me and
he cared.
Wanted success.
He cared more about how you became than wins and losses. He's like, if I was judged off of wins and losses, I'd be terrible.
Well, he wouldn't have coached for how many years he coached at Lehigh either.
Like, I think we remember, we talked about it. The first year he coached, his only win was against the deaf team.
Yeah.
So, and that tells you something. But he knew that he wasn't going in with wins and losses the first couple of years. He was starting to build young men. And that's something that I think is being lost on this newer generation. Hearing what your kids' high school or the kids' hockey coach is doing, that makes me so hopeful for the future, is to hear stuff like that. Because everybody's too concerned with wins and losses and performance, like, oh, I got this many stats or I got this many stats. It's not about the stats. It's about, are you becoming well, our motto here is building better people. Are you becoming a better person? Are you learning? Are you gaining skills? And I agree. Like, I feel like I got my work ethic not only from my parents, but Coach Scott was right there. Like, you worked hard and he expected you to work hard and he cared about you. You wanted to work hard because he cared about you, and he yelled a lot. So
yeah, that's that too. Like, nobody could yell at me more than he ever did, but I never took it as a negative. I took it as he cared about me as a person.
What I was doing and what I was doing and the outcome of what I was doing. I think I may even told the story when he was on the episode. My first game in high school, West Desert. Remember that? When we went to West Desert.
I have memories about that game from a JV perspective, which I don't want to talk about because it's embarrassing.
No, we were playing a team in West Desert. I can't remember the
Trout Creek, Utah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude! It was 4 hours on a dirt road.
Ooh.
4 hours on a dirt road. We went to a really small high school.
Did the court have electricity?
It did, surprisingly.
Oh, wow.
There were a couple of kids outside riding a bike for.
Oh, nice.
That
was the track team or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or they had a generator. But we were playing a team, and they had a point guard on there that was Jay Murphy. I still remember his name. He was their best player by far, and he was damn good too. Our whole game plan was not letting him score the ball. No layups. Like, couldn't have any layups. And the halftime came, and like I think I had maybe played like 2 minutes or something. It's like, whatever. And we were up by like 15, 20 points. Like, we were killing them. But Jay Murphy had like 2 layups. And me being super green, this is my first experience game time with Coach Scott. I was happy. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. But everybody else was like heads down, frowning, being like, damn, like, we're going to get in trouble. And I was thinking, I was just like, why is everybody?
It was a ladder per layup, right? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Practice,
oh, wow.
The next practice.
Yeah. And I was like, why is everybody like hanging their heads, man? Like, we're killing this team. Like, you should be happy. He comes in and there's a stack of books on a desk and they came flying across the room. And I was like, holy shit, look at it. And I was just like, what in the hell's going on? Yeah. And that was my first introduction to where it's like the little things matter. And it's like our game plan was this and we did not execute it. Didn't matter what the score was. It was your job was this and we didn't do that job. And that was a huge learning lesson for me. So yeah, definitely think Coach Scott was one of those people that inspired me to want to work hard and continue to work hard. I still have nightmares about being late for practice. And
I was late once my entire high school career, and that was because I got pulled over for busted taillight.
Yep.
And I made sure the cop printed off my warning so I could hand it to Coach.
I'd be like,
So he didn't think I was lying to him. And I was
this is
like
why I'm late.
trembling.
Like, sorry, this is why I'm late. Dude, we had people notoriously for being late all the time. And I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
we practiced at 6 a.m. in the morning. So we practiced early. So, I mean, yeah, you had to wake up early. It was hard sometimes. But it's like, you were running far more than you should. You're either going to get really fast or smarten up. So one of the two. And I think they just got really fast. It's like,
He probably didn't play much.
no, we have a guy here named Jay. We love Jay. He's going to be on the show later. He never shows up on time. Ever. Ever. Jay, I love you to death, dude, but you never show up on time. Like, I would tell him, be like, all right, hey, class starts at 9. There was one day I had to take my dad to the ER because he was not feeling well. So I called Jay. I was like, hey, dude, I got to take my dad to the hospital. I need you to cover the school. Class starts at 9 o'clock. Can you be here at 9 o'clock? It was a Saturday morning. He goes, yeah, I'll be there. And, dude, I'm texting him at like 5:30. So he's awake. He still showed up 4 minutes after 9. I'm getting all these texts. Is there class today? The dojo's locked. And I'm like, God damn it, Jay. I was like, are you there? He's like, I'm here. I'm sorry. I just pulled in. I was like, oh, what the hell? But Jay, we love you. I'll rag on you when you're here. But let's move on to our final question. I think this one's funny. It doesn't really apply to me anymore because I'm not in the dating scene. You're kind of in the dating scene. You're kind of in the dating scene. But what is your biggest red flag with someone that you'd possibly be dating?
40-year-old living at home.
40-year-old living
Still
at home.
forever. Never
Okay.
left. I can understand a transitional situation, but if you've never left home,
So someone that's still living
that's
at home.
40 years old.
At 40 years old.
Maybe has a kid
That's weird.
that lives with mom and dad still. That's
That's your big red flag?
that's like the ultimate red
Like,
flag.
not doing it ever again.
No.
Like, nice to meet you. I'll pay for dinner. Have a nice life.
Correct.
Sounds like
Okay.
there's a story behind that red flag.
Have you
100%.
Have you've dated somebody like that?
Well, dinner once, if that
Okay.
counts as a date, yes.
So went on a date with someone like that.
Correct.
Really?
Correct.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was like a hypothetical red flag. So that
No.
yeah, it really happened.
I didn't know that was a red flag because I didn't know that was a real thing.
I was gonna say that was probably like I didn't think I would ever have to deal with this, but apparently I'm dealing with this.
Wow.
Holy cow. All right. That's crazy. I would think that as well. Be like, seriously, you can't get out on
And
your own?
you might want to edit it out, but I haven't had this experience. But I think an Adam's apple would be a red flag. For me.
That's true. I definitely would think that'd be a red flag as well. Like, it was nice to meet you, sir. I mean, man.
Not my thing.
Not your thing. I'm not. No, pineapple. So, what about you?
Well, those two were really, really good, and obviously those are important.
Yeah, I would consider those important too.
My red flag is get to know her family, and like if there's something that just seems kind of weird, then it's like, well, I don't know about that. Because really, if
she doesn't get along with her family, or
No,
if
if the
the
family's, like,
family's
weird.
weird. Okay.
because it's like essentially if you pursue it and you get married, you
Yeah,
get married
you will
into
have to.
the family.
You will have to deal with these.
You have to
people.
deal with those people.
Okay.
Kind of have to vet them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. If you really want to know what your wife will be like, talk to her mother.
That's right.
I personally did not have that opportunity. Shanna's mom died passed away when she was young. Mm-hmm. So I do not know how that was going to be. So I guess I have to talk to her aunts and uncles, be like, how is Shanna's mom? And apparently Shanna's almost exactly like her, really fiery, very opinionated, but we love her to death. So she's a hard worker. And that's how her mom was. Her mom was a super hard worker. I would dare say my biggest red flag, and it's silly, I know it is, but like it's a super deal breaker if I was ever dating somebody. If they're a Cowboys fan,
Oh,
like, seriously,
Broncos fan,
Broncos fan.
Chiefs fan,
Yeah.
Chargers fan, Patriots fan, Cowboys fan,
Yeah,
Steelers fan.
yeah. Oh man,
The rest I can tolerate.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, I'm right there with you. Like,
Boston Red Sox fan, Mets fan.
yeah. What do you think of Soto leaving?
It sucks.
Yeah. Did you hear why he left though? the main determining factor.
I mean, I figured it was the money. That contract is stupid.
No, he got the same offer from, side note, same offer from the Yankees, but he wanted a box, like a sweet box. And the Yankees are like, no, like we don't give those to players. We didn't give
So
one.
he never wants a chance to win a championship.
Yeah. So they didn't give one to Jeter, Aaron Judge, or any of the other A-Rod. None of them got a box. The Mets were like, hey, we'll give you the same contract plus a box. And he's like, done.
Well, that's the kind of guy you don't want on your team. Then.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. No, all those teams that you listed as well, I'm right there with you. But Cowboys fans, man. There's some Cowboys fans out there, like Tyler and Wade. I love you guys to death. You're my kind of Cowboys fans because you know when your team sucks. And you're like, this is our year. This is our year.
I have a certain amount of respect for them, though, because
I do too.
They're in the doldrums like I have been for 25 years.
Mm-hmm. Did you know, I just learned this, now that the Commanders are in the AFC Championship, the Cowboys are the only remaining NFC team that has not made the championship since 1996.
Really?
Yes. Every other NFC team has made the NFC Championship game except the Cowboys.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's when they won their last Super Bowl.
Yep. Exactly. So it's almost been 30 years.
But they're America's team, and we have to watch them every Thanksgiving.
Oh, God. I can't stand
At least we have the Lions now.
Lions are decent.
But they're the other team that always plays on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And do the Packers always play on Thanksgiving?
No, it's always the Cowboys and Lions, guaranteed.
What about the Bears? Do the Bears always play Thanksgiving?
I don't think they ever play.
They played the last Thanksgiving.
No, they show up. They don't play.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was
You
smooth.
were correct.
The Bears suck.
The Bears. Yeah, but no, Cowboys fan would be a huge red flag for me. Be like, if she's like, yeah, I'm a huge Cowboys fan. Be like, it's nice to meet
check,
you.
please.
I'm an Eagles fan. This just isn't going to work out. Like,
My condolences.
yeah, exactly. I hope you enjoy Jerry's World. Even though you can come if you want. We're going to go to a Cowboys game next year when the Eagles play the Cowboys in Dallas.
No thanks.
Are you sure?
100%.
Okay.
Two teams that
You don't like either one? I'm still waiting for the Eagles are playing the Raiders in Philly next year.
next year.
Yeah.
Depends on who they draft at quarterback.
That's true. They could get Shador.
I'm hoping they trade up to get him.
Yeah. I would probably go after that kid from Miami. That Cam Ward.
Yeah.
I'd go after him.
They'll probably do something stupid and sign Kirk Cousins.
This is true. That man, say what you want about him, but he knows how to negotiate contracts.
His agents do, yeah.
Shoot. He's gotten 2 guaranteed contracts, and he ain't playing for the Falcons ever again.
He played
16 games?
No.
15 games?
14 games and got $90 million guaranteed out of it.
Yep.
Something like that. Something stupid.
Some crazy number. But, well, anyways, let us know what your red flags would be. And
If you hate football, that's a red flag. in
Exactly. Yeah. That is, honestly, I do have to say I am very blessed in that aspect that both Maya and Shanna both love football. So, like, Maya even last night was, like, calling us before the game, be like, you guys ready for the game? I'm heading on over with, and she wears her jersey every week. She's got, like, 4 jerseys now.
Oh, wow.
It's fantastic.
It's not just because she likes the color green.
No.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
She likes the color Hertz.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she is, speaking of green, she is a huge fan of Jalen Hurts. That's what made her an Eagles fan. Because, Jalen Hurts suffers from pretty privilege.
He what?
Suffers from pretty privilege.
Oh, yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah. He just has to bat his eyes and people believe whatever he's saying. So, but moving on to our next section, it is our fight scene. All right, this week's fight scene, Ron was just saying, like, what in the hell is this fight scene thing? Well, every week we pick either 2 characters or 2 groups of people or 2 things that would never fight each other in real life, and We have them fight each other, and we see who wins. So we do 3 rounds, 1 round in each person's like quote unquote home field, and then 1 round where they're in the cage and they basically go hand to hand. So this week we have pirates versus ninjas. So round 1 is on a pirate ship in the ocean. Pirates versus ninjas. Who you got?
I got pirates.
Of course you do. You're a pirate person.
Yes.
Why do you have the pirates?
Well, first, the ninja will have to find a way to get over there to the pirate ship, right? 'Cause
Okay.
it's home field advantage.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really soaking wet and soppy. And it'll make a lot of footprints. And like it'll try to hide, but it'll just be clunking around. And then
So
like
it'll be
a
like
cannonball will roll and like roll over its pajama and like over its toes and squash his toes. And the pirate will hear him then because he'll make a noise.
He'll
be
make
like,
an
"Oh!"
audible squeal.
And then bam with the flintlock pistol.
Okay.
That's how
It'll
it'll
be
go
like
down.
Saturday morning's class when all the kids came in with their wet shoes and we had footprints
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's right. That's right.
So you got pirates. Who you got?
Is it like 10v10, 20v20,
Just
same
like-
amount of people, or 1 ninja versus 20 pirates?
This is true. I'm assuming it's technically can't be 1-on-1, but it's like a 1 ninja versus a 1 pirate thing.
Oh, ninja for sure.
Yeah.
Pirates are just toothless.
What if it's like,
toothless guys that think
Blackbeard,
they can?
and he's got that fancy sword that controls his ship, like in the movies?
That's pirates were real, Mark, and I don't think they could do that.
Oh,
I think they
dang
would
it.
just have a mangy old ship,
Mangy old ship with a peg
and
leg.
I think just a ninja for sure. I mean, a ninja trains for life, right? Pretty
Yeah.
much like a real ninja.
I've got ninjas also, but even though they do have to deal with the flintlock pistol, but what if the powder's wet?
Ooh.
Yeah.
And what's the reload time?
Yeah.
What's the reload time for a ninja versus a pirate? Ninja
What does a
is
ninja
just like
have besides like its farming tools?
their little.
He's got
Choppers.
his like very inaccurate throwing stars.
Yeah.
And a sword. A sword.
Sword.
All right, now we've got a pirate
Ooh.
in feudal Japan,
Okay.
like walking to a town.
Okay. Oh, just walking to a town, or
Yeah,
are
they're
they?
not- they're not on
Are
a
they
ship.
invading like the ninjas invade?
Okay.
Sneaking in.
They're invading this coastal port city. So
I
we've
got pirate
a
again.
A pirate. Of course you
Crazy.
do.
Yeah.
He's
they
a
got
pirate
cannons.
fans.
They're gonna blow up all the houses, so then the ninjas can't hide. And then in a one-on-one fight, or like the lines collapse on each other, it's like the pirates are gonna win.
Pirates
Aren't
are
you
gonna-
guys supposed to be martial artists?
I've
Aren't
got ninjas, man.
Aren't ninjas
No.
supposed to be martial artists? Aren't you supposed to be
No, they're
pro,
farmers. They're
pro martial
they're little
artists?
assassins.
I'm pro ninjas, and I think the ninjas would wipe the floor with the pirates.
Every other
100%.
event, I might pick a ninja, but because he picked
I
pirate, I'm
specifically
picking
picked
pirates.
because he likes pirates and it create dialogue.
Because before I took martial arts, I was a pirate.
You were a pirate.
Yeah.
What was your pirate name?
My pirate name was Dane.
Dane?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know what my pirate name would be.
Yeah. You have to
I
go
don't know
on
how to respond to that.
pirate, you have to go on a pirate name generator.
Apparently, there's a pirate name generator. Yeah. So we'll have to figure out what your name would be.
I'd stick to martial arts, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going back.
No.
Okay.
I got ninjas in round 2 as well. Sounds like you got ninjas as well.
Yeah.
All right, now there's no weapons, no special gadgets, just hand-to-hand combat, pirate versus ninja.
Easy. Ninjas,
The-
for
the
sure.
pirate, yeah.
Ninjas.
Ninjas, yeah.
What's a pirate going to do? Like, slap you with a glove?
Foul language, maybe.
Walk the plank? Like, come on.
Drunken boxing. I do have to give the pirates one possible advantage is they probably have better balance because they are on ships all the time.
They're drunk all the time, dude.
Well, that's why they have better balance. Have you been on a cruise ship during like high seas?
No.
You should go. Well, you have motion sickness, dude. You'd be throwing up over the bow left and right.
I need, I need advice on the regiment of drugs to get.
which we will give you because we should go on a cruise. They're fun. But man, if you get some high seas, it is very difficult to walk on ships.
But you don't think ninjas in their training is like
Well, I
walking
agree.
on?
I think
walking
they
on
will, but they haven't had to deal
sticks
with
and
like
fire logs and doodads and pebbled rocks. And
they probably have, but I don't know to the extent. Obviously, pirates have. I'm not saying they would win. I'm just saying the pirates may possibly have pretty good balance. So
that's a stretch.
it probably is, but
I agree to disagree.
I got pirates winning, or not pirates. I got pirates losing 3-0. It's like the first sweep I've ever had.
I
So
have Pirates winning 3-0.
of course you did.
And of course, you bring a guest on who agrees with you. So
Strategically placed.
I cannot believe this.
It's just logical.
Yeah,
Oh, logical.
just logical. You're a big Spock fan, weren't you?
No.
Sure. All right, moving on to our joke of the week. This week's joke of the week was brought to you by Maya.
Oh, wow.
Maya told me this one yesterday, so if you don't like it, blame her. Okay, so why aren't chickens very smart?
Ooh, I don't know. Why?
Because they can't think out of the box.
Wow.
Yeah, that was why are chickens so funny? Because.
Oh.
Yeah. You got any good jokes?
Not that are appropriate.
Okay, that's fair enough. You got too many of your actual dad's jokes.
What, do I have another dad out there that
Well, I
I'm not
was
aware
going
of?
to say dad
Okay.
jokes, but people would actually think I'm talking about legit dad
Oh.
jokes, but I'm talking like his dad would tell some of the best horrible jokes ever. And I don't know if anybody's listening to this that will ever meet your dad, but
No,
if he ever
they won't.
tells you, be like, do you want to see where the horse bit me? Don't fall for it.
Oh, wow.
It's not very fun. Yeah, because he'll just rack you right in the groin. He'll lean his shoulder in and point to his shoulder and be like, see where the horse bit me? Whack! And then the next thing you know, you're coughing, laying on the floor because you can't breathe. So, but we love you, Father Humphreys. So,
He's not a Catholic priest, though.
no,
don't
he's
worry.
not. No. I just wanted to leave him anonymous. So, moving on to our shout-outs. So, shout-outs is anybody that you want to just basically shout out that's, either been doing a good job or means a lot to you or somebody that you're thinking about. So, you got anybody that you're thinking about shouting out? Not yet?
I'll go first.
My
He'll go.
therapist.
Your
Oh,
therapist.
nice.
There you go.
I'm going to shout out my friend Brett Diggins.
Oh, that's right. He came into town.
He came into town for the weekend.
Where does he live again?
He lives in Seattle.
Seattle. Ugh.
I know.
Yuck.
I know. But
And he's a Ravens fan?
yeah, he grew up in Maryland.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
So it was interesting, kind of sad watching his Ravens lose.
Yes.
But it was nice to have him up to ski and do stuff like that.
Oh, did you guys go skiing?
I didn't go skiing.
Oh,
went
he did?
skiing, yeah.
Yeah, skiing sucks.
He was a church friend, so it was a good time.
You're a snowboarder, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Surprised you can snowboard. Do you think it's so cold in here?
I don't have long johns and snow pants and boots on.
So I'm gonna shout Ron. I'm gonna shout out you for coming on the show, taking the time out from your day. I really appreciate the conversations, and I've actually learned a little bit about kind of how that realm and the new age of employees think. I really didn't even think about the whole close thing with being like anything remotely like inspiring. So when you said that, I was like, holy crap. But then you start thinking about it and you're like, well, damn, that's right. Like, because it works. So
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for taking the time and talking with us. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate your friendship over the last 30 years. Getting all mushy. I also got to shout out Saquon Barkley and the Eagles for pulling out another victory last night.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Live to play another day. Man, he has absolutely torched the Rams. In 2 games, he's ran for 460 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2 games. So let just that one sink in real quick.
Good
so.
thing I'm not a Rams fan.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if we'd be friends if you're a Rams fan.
I don't know if there are Rams fans, to be honest with you.
I've never met one. I'm
unicorns.
serious. When we went to LA for the Rams game on Sunday Night Football, the LA stadium was split 60-40 Eagles fans, Rams fans.
Yeah, go to
LA.
Raiders games, Chargers in LA. It's worse. Oh, it's better, I guess.
I was going to say, yeah, it's probably all Raiders fans if they go to LA. I'm really surprised the Raiders didn't go back to LA. That was pretty sad.
Well,
now the
Rams had more money to throw it at the NFL.
That's true. But I really want to go to a game in Allegiant Stadium. I've heard it's really nice.
It's the best.
That's what I've heard. So
expensive.
Yeah. I love the link, but like you have to deal with days like yesterday where it's snowing and cold.
The Lincoln Federal or
Lincoln Financial.
Field.
They call it the Link.
Okay.
So for all non-Eagles fans, Lincoln Financial Field is the Eagles' home stadium, where they'll play the NFC Championship game next week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not like I'm counting down the days for it or anything. So thank you again, Ron, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Last thing is our final thoughts. Anything that we kind of like to end the show with, something that's like, man, this was really poignant. The one that we've been kind of reaffirming over the last year or so is impact. And what was the other one? Grit, gratitude, but mainly impact, making an impact in people's lives, being able to talk to people face to face, having conversations with people. You never know what kind of impact that'll make on someone's day. Like, how often do people just walk up to you and be like, hey, how's it going? It's good to see you. Not very often. So I know for myself, I've tried to make more of an effort of any time I've come in contact with somebody, I try to leave a positive impact with them by like saying, hey, it's good to see you, or thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Like, have a great day. I try to say have a great day if I'm dealing with like people in service industries before they tell me it. Kind of throws them off. So anything you would like to leave the people, Stephen?
Oh, thanks for tuning in. I mean, continue to make an impact in your lives and the lives of those around you, and make it a positive impact.
Yeah, definitely make it a positive one. Ron, do you want to leave the people with anything?
Just wake up every day, try to make the next day better.
That's true. We've lost that thought process of like trying to be better than the day before. And it doesn't have to be huge changes. If you're like 0.5% better than you were yesterday, over the course of a year, you're going to make some great changes. So, but have a great day, everybody. Have a good week. Make sure you say a prayer for the Eagles this weekend. So actually, by the time you listen to this, the game will be over. So we will know if they win or lose.
That's right.
Hopefully we're talking about an Eagles victory. So, but thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you like, share the show, and we will see you next time. Make sure you kick it with us next time, everybody.
Bye, everyone.